Once it thinks about it. There we go. We're now live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 19 of the CasualCast. I'm your host for this week, Sam Nicholson, joined along by two special guests, one returning, Dylan Blight. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm ready and raring to talk stuff.
Yeah, well, that's good. If you weren't ready, I'd be a bit worried. But alrighty. But then we have a debutante on this week as well. We've got Alex Schmidt. He goes by Pug, not Pub. Pug Edits on YouTube,
I'd
Twitter,
like to go to
and
a
all
pub.
that business. Yeah. How do you edit pubs? What's involved in that process?
Lots of drinks beforehand, I guess. Then just go wild.
I looked up your YouTube because you had the word pug in your title. I'm like, I like pugs, and I saw 0 pugs apart from a pug on your t-shirt, so I was highly disappointed. Then I blocked your whole YouTube.
I know. I haven't got too much of that plastered around.
Have you ever got that kind of feedback before? I'm sure there's been lots of people who've like seen the name. It's like, awesome. This is like a vlog channel about pugs or something like that. I'm so excited to see like a squishy faced dog, and then they've got.
You see a squishy faced human instead.
That was bad as fuck. I didn't like anything.
I did get a lot of criticism like that.
There you go. I'm curious now that we've mentioned it. Where does the name come from? Why pug?
I don't know. I was just like, what animal do I like? And I just went with pugs. That's it. There's no.
Pug.
I have been asked this question easily thousands of times if I actually own a pug, and I have never owned a pug.
You're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm a liar.
Goddamn liar.
You just come straight out with the banter.
When YouTube channel, fucking Phalabriosaurus, fucking something or other. Have you ever owned that dinosaur, Dylan? No, but I like them.
No, pretty much.
Pug. Go out, get the pug.
You just summed up my channel in a nutshell.
Yeah. Just take this whole out. Just make this your new ad or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely should. If people ask you these questions, just send them this as a response. We need the views. But definitely living up to the name Banter Lab already. But before we dive into our first bunch of topics, there is a bit of housekeeping that I wanted to talk about for the show. So I know we just made a bunch of changes to how this shit works, but we're changing it again just to make it even harder for you guys. So instead of Mondays, we still are going to be streaming, but it's going to be streaming on Sunday nights. That fits with Ben's schedule a lot more now. And so Sunday nights, but it'll be on Twitch because YouTube is a bitch to stream on, it turns out. Hangouts just doesn't work. So, we're going to be streaming on Twitch every Sunday. The video on demand will be taken down pretty much straight away, though. And instead, we're going to, on our YouTube, break out every topic on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, upload every topic as a video on YouTube, and then the whole podcast up on a Wednesday on iTunes and stuff like that. The actual proper edited version. That doesn't sound like shit because it's not compressed by streaming. So that is how we're going to start running things now. It seemed a lot more efficient than how we're doing things at the moment. But diving straight into topic one now, we're bringing in with Alex. So what have you got for us today, mate?
All right, so I've come up and organized a topic to do with some weird stuff you can see on YouTube. Now, this is a series that I've done on my YouTube account as well, with just recently uploading a video pretty much half an hour ago. I just want to kind of talk to you guys about what kind of weird shit you've seen on YouTube. I've come across DDLJ channels, which are like daddy-dominated little girl channels. I've come across some really fucked up, really don't want to go into, but there's the classical like terrible music covers. There's a whole alley out there. I just want to know what you guys have seen.
Yeah, geez. I don't think they talk about the dark side of YouTube, and here I was thinking it was just videos like salad fingers and shit like that. But my God, what have you uncovered?
Yeah,
I'm not
interesting
seeing any of that.
How does that stay up? Like, okay, fill me in. Are these videos and channels getting lots of traffic, or is it just like 4 or 5 other fucked up people just finding that and watching it?
So, based on your second option there, are you trying to say that I'm one of those 5 fucked up people searching for this content?
No, because you're searching out for a purpose that isn't sinister. You seem to review them and like, bring them out for what they actually are. Whereas I'm sure there are subscribers to these channels.
Yeah, there's a few.
Like,
one of the channels that I reviewed was to do with the whole DDLG community. It had 25,000 subscribers, and it's pretty much a channel for this 25-year-old woman, I'm pretty sure she was, to act as a child and as a baby. And I don't know, everyone has their own little ways to live their life, but yeah, it's just fucking odd. It's just really out there.
Jeez. So you review something like that. Do people from that community then like come onto your channel with a bunch of backlash, or are they a little bit too
hell yeah,
maybe shy of their weird interests?
No. They come out in force. Once you ring the bell, they start coming. Man. So they're very defensive when it comes to, I guess, their little kinks and what turns them on.
Well, I can tell you what I've learned at least recently in the last week on YouTube. I'll talk about this more shortly. But YouTube gives zero fucks about what's going on in their channel, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is very true. That does fit in with your topic really well. It's like, oh, the segue's so tempting.
Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you what the weirdest thing I've watched on YouTube, though, is The Room. That's where I watched The Room. I watched The Room, the movie, on YouTube. That's the weirdest thing I've watched on YouTube. The whole movie's on YouTube if you want to watch The Room, and that's a weird movie. The pillow scene from that sounds like what you're talking about, except for if it was like a baby. And I don't know. I don't even know how you discover this shit. There's no way you accidentally discover this shit too. It's not like, oh, I was watching the latest Justin Bieber music video and I tripped, fell, and landed in some like fucked up like. I don't even know. I feel like I need to call the FBI or someone.
Yeah, and there you go. And that stuff's put up by Hollywood instead of some shady man like in his basement. But yeah, The Room. There you go. I had no idea you could find it on there.
The only other weird stuff I ever see is like,
that
H3 stuff they talk about, like the channels they'll have on there, and it's like I don't know the people's names, like the guy who will like walk up and try and make out with girls on beaches and like that cringe shit, like that I can't watch because it just hurts my soul to the point of destruction where I find my remote and I just chuck it through my TV because it's burned forever.
Absolutely. And shit like that gets so many views and makes so much money too. That those people have no shame. Like, how could you put yourself up doing that on the internet? I don't know. Views. Yeah. But, because people probably don't believe that's what it is. Like, oh, surely some guy's not walking around a beach just making out with random people. And then there you go. But H3H3 does do some good ones. Like, actually, one video that I saw before H3H3 did it, which is one of the weirder things I've seen, which are those Bradbury brothers, Ethan Bradbury, and the other one, his name I can't remember. And they like pretended to be like predators.
The pedophile one?
Got a girl into their house and stuff, and then acted real creepy.
That's weird.
Yeah, they're like, we swear it's to make you know that people are bad. Yeah. But
like they get towards the end of the video and they do the biggest like circle, like the whole point was we're actually the good guys. That was the whole point of it. And then anyone with half a brain's like, I just want to punch you really hard.
Absolutely. Man, all that stuff had completely slipped my mind until just now that you mentioned H3H3. There are definitely some fucked up people on the internet. But okay, so how do you go about hunting these channels down, Pug? Like,
I'm assuming
how are you finding them?
So it's a really odd process. I'll either, funnily enough, you mentioning earlier stumbling across, say, you were beginning on Justin Bieber and finding these channels from that. He has a song called Baby, and this is a very, very interesting story.
It was a joke, Alex.
No, I know, but this
you fucking shit.
But
he's trying to frame you that you're one of them, Dylan.
That is how I found one of these channels.
Through the song,
Oddly enough.
is why was you watching Justin Bieber's Baby?
I wanted to see how many dislikes it had at the time.
Oh, sure.
That's what they all say.
You're one of the people with like, they made like 10
Sure.
Google accounts that night and we're giving it the upvotes just to try and balance it out. You're
I
one
only
of the,
watched it
one
because
of
of
the
Ludacris.
Yeah. That's pretty much. You could say that. I only listen to songs for featuring artists.
Yeah, exactly. Continue though. So he's watching Baby.
And then you have like this endless amount of recommended videos you can scroll down on the side for. And then I just kept scrolling, and then this rules and punishments video popped up out of nowhere. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I click it, I listen to what is just the strangest of videos. And I go, oh, this is something that I need to do something about and make a video about. And the Playpen Princess girl actually saw the video and everything, chucked it on her Instagram and stuff, and sent her fans my way, which was good engagement-wise in that as well. But ever since I've looked into more of her videos and stuff, more of these type of videos have popped up in my recommended, and they just get weirder and weirder and weirder. So I'm sure you guys know about like ASMR.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's like the audio stuff, yeah, like sounds.
Yeah, it is. So there's cool ones like say you're in a
voice.
There's ones where you're getting a haircut. I don't know. You might want to get a haircut, but not actually get a haircut. But there's weird ones where people will make ears. Like they'll stick their tongue in your ear pretty much. And it feels like it's not there, but you feel as if there's a tongue in your ear. It's really fucking bizarre. And that's how I come across these channels. It's just recommended videos after watching really weird videos.
Man, I was about to say I'd love to take a scroll through your recommended, but I don't know anymore.
I know when I heard the topic, I was like, right, well, it'll either be like the weirdest shit I've ever seen is like those makeout videos, but straight from the get-go, I was like, yeah, people and babies, and I was like, okay, I'm out. I got nothing. My YouTuber's account's
clean.
I'm
sorry to disturb you guys.
You open up my homepage, it's like recommended videos, dash cams Australia.
I love dash cams. Dash cams is great.
It's great to watch. It's wholesome family entertainment, really.
I swear, a lot of those things are either Dashcam Australia or like Simpsons or South Park 24/7, and then you've got like surveillance cameras 24/7. Those are always on my YouTube front page. I don't watch them. Like I don't know how they get there, but yeah,
that's what
it's
they
always
all
shit
say,
like that.
Sam. That's
what
they all say.
Watching a Netflix documentary a couple of weeks ago. It was called The Dark Net. And it was supposed to like focus on obviously the dark side of the internet, stuff like that, like weird shit people are into. But even a whole Netflix documentary that was meant to make the internet sound as bad as possible didn't have shit like that. Like I didn't expect that to be on YouTube. Like you'd expect to find it in some dark corner, but man, YouTube is like one of the number one sites in the
platform. It's a strange platform if you find the right people.
You said the word documentary, and I just remember that. At the moment, I was looking for. Here's my plug for what you should rent on iTunes at the moment. For 99 cents, you can rent the movie documentary Tickled, which not a lot of people have watched. It is one of the best things I watched last year. It was out like 2 years ago. It is about like this dude, and he discovers like he's like there's like a secret organization of people that are getting together to like tickle each other, and it's like that's really weird. I'm going to start making this documentary because that just sounds really weird. So he sets out with his friend to make this documentary that he thinks is just going to be a bit of a laugh. You know, I'll investigate like the dark tickle webs of the internet, like forums,
the
whatever.
Dark tickle web.
Yeah, but he starts the documentary. Next second, people are fucking flying. The dude's from like New Zealand, I think, and like people fly to New Zealand to like from the organization, and they're like cease and desist. Like you can't keep investigating us. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Like I was just trying to make a documentary about weird tickle shit. Now I've got people like showing up in my country, like threatening me, and I won't spoil it all. Tickled if you like, you should, by sounds of it, right up your fucking alley. Like, Tickle, it's a documentary that sounds like it was made for you. Go watch that. There you go.
That actually sounds amazing. I'm
amazing.
gonna down right now. I definitely want to watch that. All right, Tickled.
It's great.
Yeah, it came up. Third suggestion, Tickled documentary.
Yep,
great.
There you go. I mean, it's not YouTube, but it's weird nonetheless.
There's more communities like that as well. There's like there's communities where people meet up to like suck each other's blood because they want to be vampires and stuff. There's communities like that out there too.
Is it weird that weirds me out less than like the baby thing?
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm actually in the same boat.
Yeah, well, there you go. Like, I mean, maybe it's just because I've watched too much of their stuff. I've become condensed by it. I've become.
By the sounds of it.
I've become a follower. Next time you'll catch me, I'll be in a fucking diaper and I'll just be rolling around on the floor.
It's not there. I mean, have you watched those like Louis Theroux, like the ones where like the people who bring like the dolls and
yes,
those? Yeah. I mean, I've watched that stuff and I'm like, that's weird, but I mean, it's not hurting anyone, so it sits at the level where I'm like, I don't, whatever. Like, it's weird, but I'll allow it.
I know sucking blood sounds painful. I guess those people are into it, but like, man, you're right though. Is it weird that I think that is less weird than the baby stuff? That's a strange thought.
Maybe because I want vampires to be real.
Yeah. I find it weird there's a community out there that goes in secret to tickle each other.
The tickle Illuminati. They're trying to rule the world. Tickle oppression and stuff like that. Sounds horrible. I'm a very ticklish man, so that sounds like hell to me.
So it's actually a nightmare.
Yeah. If there are some of the top places I don't want to be, it's in one of the tickle basements that these people are operating in. Like, that's right near the top of my list.
Like Hostel, but you get trapped there, and it's just like a tickle dungeon instead of like cutting you with a scythe.
I'd rather be cut with the scythe. I hope I bleed out something like that than get
But I've just gone onto Google and searched tickle basement, right? Yep. And the first thing, no shit, that has popped up is Uncle Touchy's Tickle Basement, and it's based in Melbourne.
Brilliant.
Do I go there?
Yes.
Oh, you're based in Melbourne, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great not to at this point.
Do I go there?
Yeah.
With the content you make, I believe you have to, right?
Yeah, that's the next evolution of your channel. Taking down the tickle Illuminati.
It's got 30.
Look, either you get a real fucking pug or go to that dungeon.
Okay. I'll go to the dungeon. Jeez. Far out.
Just do it.
There you go. Oh, fucking Uncle Tony's Tickle Dungeon or whatever it is. That's I think I've got that totally wrong.
I'm looking.
Uncle Tony sounds like a pizza joint. But there you go. I think you'd be very shocked by the things that you'd find. Like, I don't want to go on your Google account at all now, Pug, and like look at all the ads and shit that you're going to start be getting on Facebook. And like,
I just hope he does it all incognito. Only incognito browsers, hopefully.
Incognito's
don't
too
answer
much
my question.
effort, so I don't bother. Okay, well, I just did. Sorry.
Okay.
Incognito would almost be a detriment to what you're trying to do, though. You're not going to find all of the weird recommended stuff. But
no, because if you can't watch porn, you do it in an incognito browser.
Why? I'm proud of what people.
The next second you become one of those weirdos who's scrolling through Facebook, you see like an ad for porn, you like screenshot it, post it on your Facebook, like, oh, look at the weird ads I'm getting on Facebook, guys. Everyone's like, it's because you're fucking Googling for it, you dickhead.
That's so true, though. Oh, people. Oh, man. Well, I just want to, like, I can't wrap my head around how people would want to be a part of a tickle dungeon. Like,
tickled.
Do people actually get pleasure from being tickled? It's just such a horrible feeling. I can't. Oh, I mean, then again, people wanting to have their blood sucked out of them and be vampires. So people just astound me, man.
It all started when I bought my first Tickle Me Elmo.
There's probably someone who's legit like that, though.
Yeah. So disappointed he didn't tickle me back.
Yeah.
There you go. But moving on from the weirdest YouTube things that we've seen, this probably segues nicely into Dylan's topic, I think, because we've seen some right out the gate of 2018, seen YouTube go to a weird place and it not really being policed the way that a lot of people would. So would you like to sort of explain where your topic's coming from, Dylan?
So we had the whole, everyone knows, or I'm pretty sure everyone knows the whole Logan Paul thing by now. Mm-hmm. If you don't know, quick summarize is Logan Paul, big famous vlogger. He went to this forest in Japan. I'm not actually sure the real name, but it's referred to as Suicide Forest. And he filmed the person who had hanged himself there. And he went through every full step you can take before uploading the video, as in looking at the footage, editing the footage, the description, I don't know, like just the general period of put it up. Anyway, here's dickhead.
Well, the thumbnail as well.
Like, the thumbnail as well. It's just like any short, but this one, no, we'll use the one with the person actually. The thumbnail.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's, and Logan Paul is not the kind of vlogger I would personally ever watch. I describe his content as ultra hyper fake, like just it's basically written, like as far as I'm concerned. It's just his whole life is one big fake thing, and that's how he made his money for ages. And I knew about him for ages, and I was just like, whatever, good for him, I guess. That's not what I want to participate in watching though. However, his type of content and that type of vlog has become the most popular type of content because, and I do believe it's just because people like to watch fake shit, because it's if it was his real life, it would be a more downer stuff. Blah, 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 blah. The last 2 days, because I'm going to RTX Sydney, I was like, the only people coming who I've never watched the Sugar Pine 7 video. So I watched like one of the couple more recent ones. I was like, I'm intrigued. However, I would like to go back to the very start and just get like the whole story of Sugar Pine 7.
Lord, what a trek.
The whole dealio. I'm like, why did this even become popular? Let's go back to the start. And I start the first video of theirs yesterday, and I think I've watched 60 since then, or something ridiculous, because I've just had it on in the background like while doing other work on my laptop, and it's great content to literally just have on in the background because you're just like laughing and you don't need to pay full attention. Their content is what Steven, what's his name? Steven
Suptic, yeah.
Suptic, thank you. He describes as alternative reality. So he's very open that, and I mean, unless you're a fool, you wouldn't believe what everything happening in their videos is real either. However, it's a combination of not fully written out and scripted videos. It's just like them being like, we'll just head out to the beach for the day and we'll just like make some shit up and whatever else and stuff like that and happen. So it's alternative reality. It's still their lives, but it's not actually their lives. It's they're heightening it, but they're very open about it. So you can't like, it's admitted. And like Logan Paul, who fakes a lot of his life but tries to pretend it's all real. So I want to talk about like the big differences between vlogs, this kind of content, what you would prefer, where you think the line is for what should be like real and how much of your real life you should show, like how much is too far into fakeness that it becomes like just more like reality TV, which I hate. I absolutely fucking hate reality TV. It's like something I can't stand reality TV, and that's kind of like what I prefer Logan Paul's vlogs more towards. When I think about it all, I read iJustine's book a couple of years ago that she released. I'm a big fan of iJustine. She's one of the OG content creators or YouTubers. She's been around for ages, and her book was really good. She has a line in it where she just says like, my videos aren't like fool me everything. She's like, I admit that I purposely only show you the happiness in my life, and that's a choice I make because I want my videos to be happy, and I just cut out any sort of negativity or don't show you where I'm having bad days or don't show you when I'm feeling sad, down. I just want it all to be happy. But that's her choice. But that doesn't mean what her content is fake. It's just specific. It's like puzzle pieces shown to the audience, I suppose. So where does everyone fall on vlogs, this kind of content? What kind of vloggers do you like watching? What ones don't you like? And
that's a really good topic. I think I side with you on the whole Logan Paul thing, where that should be more mentioned as reality TV, like something like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's that's a very good comparison, I feel, from a kind of different medium. Because nothing about what he's doing is actually real. It's all written out, and he shows himself in a very specific light, which a lot of vloggers do, but his is like incredibly fake. It's that next level where, like, who else you mentioned, Sugar Pine 7, they don't really pass that off as vlogs, I suppose. I mean, they used to. I don't know how far through their content you are. It's definitely changed a lot from that, but it's still at the heart what Sugar Pine 7 was. But yeah, I don't disagree with people not showing every aspect of their life. I mean, no one really wants to know just how far your problems go, because like if you show the dark parts of your life, because if you did, it kind of looks like you're crying to a huge audience for help and sympathy sort of thing, you know. Like I agree with how iJustine does it, and her content is really fantastic. But man, the vlogs are just such a weird part of YouTube now. There are no rules sort of thing with how you make that content.
Yeah. Well, I would have to say in regards to like vlogs and that, I don't follow Sugar Pine 7 or those guys purely because I'm not interested in too many people's lives, to put it bluntly. But it gets to a point with, say, people like Logan Paul and that, and this is a situation that I've paid pretty close attention to as well. But it gets to that stage where what they're kind of putting out there is sort of becoming that reality show where it's just over the top, and it's just there for attention, and nothing else. Like, yeah, he hasn't come back yet, has he, Logan Paul?
Nope.
No.
He put out an apology video and monetized it, I think. That's about it.
Yeah, so I'm sure when he comes back, he's going to get back on that, I guess, daily grind or whatever he says it is, and keep putting out that controversial type content. Hopefully not, but I feel like that's going to be the case. Now, I think if you're familiar with it as well, his brother Jake put out like a video that was something about losing his virginity, and it get like, this is my point. It pretty much gets to that stage where you're doing it purely for attention, much like a show.
Absolutely.
So
like
I feel.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Vlogs are a huge part of YouTube. Obviously, people want to show their lives off, everything like that. My girlfriend does it; she vlogs all the time. But I feel like if you're vlogging that much, it just gets intertwined with literally everything, and it just becomes fake.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, Dylan, about it being like a sort of alpha male thing. Like they just use it as an excuse to sort of fakely brag. Like iDubbbz did a content cop on that kid. What was his name?
Was it Leafy?
No, it was after Leafy. I think it's his most recent content cop. Rice Gum.
Oh,
Rice Gum. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that, but he's exactly the same as
what the fuck? Yeah, pause for a sec. I was like, I only discovered like several months ago, it was like this whole section of the internet where it was suddenly just everyone was like rapping, and they was having like rap battles, and everyone was fighting, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't understand.
How shit are those diss tracks?
They're terrible.
Shit. But you know what's funny? Whether it's a diss track video or a vlog, all these people, their videos have the same message, whether it's a diss track or not. They've seen another YouTuber like be like, "Oh, look at this car I've got. Look at this watch I've got." And they're like, "I'm going to one up him and try and make him look bad." So whether it's a vlog or a diss track, the videos are the same thing, and they're made for the same principle. It's so dumb. Like there's nothing productive about it, or constructive, I should say. There is absolutely nothing constructive about those things that they do, and it's the same with reality TV. For the most part, I just can't wrap my head around why every day you would want to wake up and make yourself look like such an arrogant dickhead every day.
You look at your bank account, I guess.
And the ego as well.
Yeah,
you got to boost the ego.
I mean, I guess at what point does the checks that are coming in sort of make you have no shame?
There's also no one in these people's lives like telling them no, or like that's bad. Like, just look at Jake Paul. Like, he put out that stupid music video whatever it was called. The one everyone was making fun of last year is like a dab on it and whatever else.
It's every day,
it's
bro.
Every day, bro. That's it. Yeah.
How can you
is that the one
forget
where some kid is like, England is my city? That's one of the lines. And
that guy, and then funny, yeah. But it's like Jake Paul puts out that fucking atrocious song, whatever, if you want to call it such a thing. And it's just like, look at all the people in his life, like in the background surrounding him. These are the people he speaks to daily. These are the people, are any of these people ever once going to be like, hey, bro, you shouldn't upload that? Because it would just be like, he'd be like, get out of my house. Because he's paying them all. Like they're all basically employed by him or his company or whatever. So it's like, none of these people that are his friends, who are also his employees, are going to be like, no. And it's the same as, I'm getting all confused. The other polar, the one I'm talking about before. All the fucking all the polars, all the rice gums, whatever. They have all the rice gums. They have these fucking houses. They're like, I don't understand. They all live in houses now together too. That's something I find weird. It's like, I remember seeing what's his name?
Bukkake Gang.
Is that actually the name of the fucking thing?
No.
It'd be hilarious if it was. That's got to be like, if you did a rap parody channel, that instead of Gucci Gang, that's what you've got, I reckon.
It sounds like a fucking thing, probably they'll make up. But they all like live in these houses together, and they all act like they're like best friends and whatever else and this stuff, but they're all employee together and stuff like that. And yeah, it's like who's the actual adult? Even if one of these people are like 30, it's like you still like act like a fucking 12-year-old. None of these people have someone that's just going to go, look, you dickhead. No, don't upload this dead body video. That's a bad idea. Everyone's like, yeah, it's every day, bro. Stay maverick, dab on it. Fucking hell.
Absolutely. Like everyone around him is a yes man. Like that's why if you watch the video that, the controversial one in the suicide forest, none of his friends were like, oh, that's bad, man. You shouldn't video it. They saw him make a joke and laugh at it. So they all laughed because they're getting paid. But have you guys seen the movie Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping?
No.
It's the Lonely Islands movie that they made with. It's pretty much the exact same thing. So the main character in that, because he was a big pop star, he realized that all his friends around him were yes men and weren't actually his friends. So he made pancakes, and instead of chocolate chips, he put dog shit in them. And he wanted to see if anyone would speak up and say they were bad. So all his friends ate them. He's like, yeah, what'd you think about the pancakes? The cookie, like, oh, dude, they're so good. They're delicious. Like, knowing that it tastes like dog shit. And I'm sure these Paul guys are surrounded by the exact same type of people. Yeah.
I'd say so.
It's horrendous, really. But then you have people like SugarPine7 who are approaching vlogs from a totally different angle where, they're calling it alternative lifestyle or something like that. And they write storylines, but all the comedy is improv, and they just pretty much, film their day, but character versions of themselves, I suppose. And
I mean, I would describe what they do as vlogs. Yeah, it's just that what they do is a show. You can watch any one random episode out of order because how they edit them is so good, because any joke that you need prior information to, there's always a flashback. I've noticed so far. They always edit in the information you need if the episode is from episodes ago. But it's like they did one where they went out and someone did like got possessed by a demon, and then there was like 3-4 videos before that paid off, and then suddenly the guy became a demon, like was getting possessed by the demon. But you can tell like they just have so much fun, because a lot of the time you'll see them like start smirking when someone says, just like, because they just make it up as they go. So one of them just say something, you'll see that one just be like, but no, I'm absolutely loving. If it was to be like, what is the greatest thing you've watched on YouTube in like the last year, I'd be like SugarPine7. I wish I'd started watching these guys ages ago, because this is great. This is just fantastic content to watch. It's hilarious.
It's super unique. There's nothing else like it on the internet. It's like kind of like Arrested Development if the narration was from a first person perspective meets any improv show like Thank God You're Here. It's essentially that on YouTube. So it's not really vlogs like you were saying, Pug, you're not interested in anyone else's lives. This isn't actually this isn't actually their lives. Approach it like it's a TV show. And honestly, it's probably the best, my favorite content on the internet at the moment. It's really fresh and different.
I think there was like one episode where it starts where he's driving, I was driving around someone's house and he like gets hit, someone hits him on his bike, and then all of a sudden it just cuts to like the bike being wrecked, and he's got a neck brace on, and then the commentary over, it's like, and then all of a sudden I had a broken back and everything in my spine was broken, and he like walks into his store and he's like, I was really struggling if this was a good idea since my entire back was broken, but we did it anyway. But they play it so serious, it's like at that, like it's not too silly, like it hovers above like being completely ridiculous and just outlandish to, they just play it like it's a real vlog, but it's not. It's just them joking around every day.
That's great. And you notice sometimes like situations like that, where they're in public and talking to someone who works at a store or something like that, that those people who they're talking to might not necessarily be in on it. So they're kind of like, what's going on? It's fantastic. They're producing great content. I don't know how current you are now, Dylan, but like all the stuff now, the cinematography and editing to it, it's all like top shelf stuff. And their podcast just
hired the editor girl. What's her name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Yeah. They barely just like, he just hired Autumn.
Oh man, it only goes like uphill from there. Yeah, it gets so good. But I had a point that I was getting to there, and now I've totally derailed my thought. But no, that's what it was. Their podcast. They do a podcast in conjunction with it, and I'm not sure if you've listened to it, Dylan, but it's like sort of like add on to it. They kind of explain the behind the scenes and how they come to these storylines and stuff. But their podcasts are all improv too. They come into it with no set topic, and their banter and improv is all fantastic. So if you can get current on that, that's a good podcast to get on as well.
Try add it to the list.
Yeah. As someone, right, that is a bit on, like, I don't follow these guys at all. So I'm listening to you guys talk about this, and I'm trying to understand what this is. Is this like improv vlogs? Sort
Basically,
of?
Yeah.
But with written storylines as well.
Okay, so
with written storylines is like, you're going to get possessed by a demon, and we'll just play that along as a joke, and then in a few days we'll play off that joke. Not like scripted, right? It's just like general ideas for stuff.
General ideas, and then improving off that pretty much.
Like, hey, today we'll go out and we'll look at because they're in California or Los Angeles or something like that. Like they'll go out to like the desert area or whatever out there. I just picture them in the morning being like, we'll just get in the car, we'll go out there. And it's a video. Like we'll just make it up as we go. They talk shit. They play themselves, but like heightened reality versions and silly versions of themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that sounds like something I could watch instead of someone being like, "Hey guys, look, I just bought a Coke can and I've drunk it, and now I'm gonna go home." Like, this sounds better than that.
It's not that. It's not that.
Oh, hey, one of our friends is like all of a sudden possessed, or like it's like, and then
it sounds a lot better.
But it's also episodic, like a TV show. They break it up into seasons, and it's all fantastic.
It's also fun to pick what is legit and what isn't. Like I was watching one episode where I was trying to buy an office because like obviously where I'm up to, they're just kind of starting out as a company or whatever, and they're looking at all these offices, and it's like the fucking dude's just like vaping. And one of the other dudes is just like, no, you can't vape here. This is a serious one. And he's like, what, the other one's all serious? It's just like, is this dude actually angry? Like, because they're legit looking at offices. Like, that's a legit thing they're doing. And then the other guy's like, don't do that. But it's like, is he joking? Or is he legit getting shitty at this guy? And it's like, doesn't matter because it's just funny anyway.
That's great. It keeps you guessing. It's just good content, the whole way. Except the funny thing, if you watch it from the beginning, the first couple of episodes are not at all what it is later on. It's a totally different type show. Like Steven, so it's through this perspective of a guy named Steven Suptic, who just loses his job. And then goes from there. It seemed kind of like legitimate vlogs and stuff. And then it just turns into what it is now, which is just a shit show of great improv. And it's fantastic. But, oh, man, we've tooted their horn for that long now. We should probably move on to the next topic, which what we've got lined up is my topic for the day. And that is actors who would either get you right into a movie. They make you all in just because they're a part of it, or they turn you right off it and you know you're just not going to watch it. But that could be like, I don't know, directors or anything like that too. Let's try and not box it in for the topic. But have you guys got anyone like that?
I got one right off the bat that you're going to like. Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, God.
Is he in anything else apart from The Room?
Yeah.
The Disaster Artist, man.
He's in The Disaster Artist?
Yeah.
Because it's James Franco.
Yeah,
actually, really? Yeah.
He has a movie coming out this year that he reunited with the other dude with. that like it's been screened at
Called
like
Best.
film festivals and stuff. Yeah, it's called Best Friends, but it's been filmed at screened at film festivals and stuff, and everyone's giving it like legit really good reviews. So I'm like, what? Like, is this actually good? And they're planning it as a trilogy or something ridiculous like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm definitely watching that. That's weird if it's actually a good movie. I suppose give it 20 years, anyone can become a good actor, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. I would have thought there was no saving Tommy Wiseau from The Room, but like, I had no idea he was still working. That actually baffles me.
Like, he appears in like random B movies now.
Yeah, he appears like as himself as a joke. He's like David Hasselhoff. Like he'll pop into a movie as himself as a joke, I suppose. But you know what? You say Tommy Wiseau will turn you off watching a movie, Pug. That's actually
he turns me on.
He turns you on. Yeah, Tommy Wiseau turns us all on.
He turns me on.
That's got me all on board. I'm curious to see why this movie's getting good reviews. That's fantastic. Man, but lately, the reason why this was my topic is I watched the movie Breathe with Andrew Garfield. Have you guys seen that at all?
Nope.
No.
I didn't really want to watch the movie before I watched it, to be completely honest, but I was with a few other people, and they were like, oh, we're all going to watch Breathe. So I tagged along. And Andrew Garfield, to me, he was just a Spider-Man who was like an okay Peter, a great Spider-Man. He was just there. Then he did Hacksaw Ridge. And I was like, that movie was really good, and he was pretty damn good in it. And then I thought, okay, well, this will probably make or break Andrew Garfield for me, this next movie. And it was surprisingly, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys know the premise of it, but it's a guy who gets polio, I think polio, and has to be on a respirator. And he was the first person ever to leave a hospital on a respirator and did a bunch for like disabled people and stuff like that. It's a true story. It was fantastic. But Andrew Garfield, for me, is probably one of those actors where after watching Breathe, I'm probably all in on anything he does. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I got to bring up a point. You said this movie was make or break for Andrew Garfield for you.
Mm-hmm.
What movie was the one that you didn't like him in as much? Because you mentioned he was a good Spider-Man, a good Peter Parker, and he was also excellent in Hacksaw Ridge. You didn't really touch base on what he's not so good in.
So I'd say The Social Network. I don't know. I was kind of a bit iffy, but I think I was just iffy on that movie. And it was probably mostly Jesse Eisenberg. Who was probably mostly the reason. But I don't know. I was iffy on that movie, and then he could be pretty awkward in Spider-Man as well, I thought. But when I say make or break, it's probably not me thinking that he's a bad actor, but whether he's actually as great as I thought he could be after watching Hacksaw Ridge, and he was mostly pretty good in Spider-Man. So that's probably more where I went, or more what I meant by that. But yeah, but then I thought then I thought, what's an actor that like I'm just going to stray away from everything they do now? And for me, that's Amy Schumer. No. I don't know, like the whole thing that she comes off is, it's kind of like Melissa McCarthy as well, I suppose, just makes jokes about her appearance or dicks, and then that's all it is. There's no substance to anything that she does, I feel.
I love that movie. What was the one she did that was really her big one? What the fuck was it called? I can't even remember now. But her big popular one a couple of years ago. No, I really like that. Trainwreck. Yeah, no, I love Trainwreck. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was definitely a breakout film. But I don't know. It's not necessarily bad. I mean, obviously some people like that kind of stuff. It's just not my kind of humor. It's just not stuff for me. Yeah. So I think early on I've realized that's not content I'm going to watch.
The only people I stay away from is not based on like talent or anything like that. We did a topic on this on Pleasure Explosion. I can't remember. It was like episode 32 or something like that, which was called like art ruining something. It was something to do with art. But the whole point is like I won't watch Woody Allen films because he's like basically a rapist. I won't like. So that's what I mean. Like the only people I stay away from are anyone who's been accused or does creepy, weird shit. Like I won't watch what's it called movies anymore.
Kevin Spacey, James Spacey,
Kevin Spacey.
James Spacey.
Like, why am I forgetting his fucking name? Like, but yeah, like I'm gonna have I will just stay away from Kevin Spacey. Like Kevin Spacey probably gonna struggle to get work from now on. But if he suddenly starts popping up in movies, I'm just gonna stay away from him.
See,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting as well.
Separating like reality from fiction when it's like the person is that, like if it's got that stigma with them, I guess.
Because I was going to eventually watch his House of Cards series because I had heard.
I'm not now.
Yeah, I heard really good things about that show. But because of the allegations and the stuff that did come out and was proved to be true, I'm definitely not going to be on board with watching any of his stuff. But I must say, like after all this stuff went down with him, I did go and watch Baby Driver, and that was still a really, really good movie, despite him being in it for maybe 30 minutes of the movie tops.
Yeah, funny you say that. I actually did the same thing because I hadn't seen Baby Driver before, and people were really talking that movie up. I was like, look, maybe I can separate the art from the artist, and for the most part, I think I did, but there are a few lines where it's like, oh man, that has a whole nother meaning now. Like there was a line where he says, I was amazed by the balls on that kid. Maybe not.
Oh,
did Kevin Spacey write that line in?
When the whole thing, because I watched Baby Driver in cinemas, and for starters, I didn't like it as much as everyone else. I was like, good. I wasn't like amazed. It wasn't quickly at the top of my like top 10 movie list.
Agreed.
Yeah. It was on my short list coming towards the end of the year. However, after the whole Kevin Spacey thing, I just crossed it out. It was pretty much hanging off, like barely would be scraping in top 10 territory. But after the whole stuff, I was just like, I can't really think about this movie at the moment or want to. So it's just like because of that, it was scraped off. And it would be hard for me not to believe there were other people out there, like bigger outlets, the Empire magazines or stuff like that, who had similar like reactions when they were doing their movie nominations and stuff, which sucks for Edgar Wright because I love Edgar Wright. But it's like your movie kind of just gets fucked by this shit. I wish he could have been able to do a Ridley Scott and just and put Christopher Plummer in every scene or something. Change him, I don't know.
A bit late for that when your movie's already out, I guess.
Change it for the Blu-ray.
But I totally agree. Like, I don't know, it's kind of ruined Kevin Spacey stuff for me now too. Especially, I really liked the movie Seven.
Yeah, I love Seven.
Is like fantastic, great movie objectively. I couldn't watch that the same now. He's kind of like the creepiest in that movie. Oh, he didn't kill anyone, but like
the number one movie, one of my favorite movies of all time that has been ruined now is The Usual Suspects.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
My God. Yeah. It's like one of the greatest movies ever. And it's fucked. It's ruined.
Yeah.
It's like a gangster type one, or however you want to describe it, like a crime drama action, something like that. But he plays a creepy character in that too. And anytime I just think about any of the creepy scenes he does, I'm just like, you're creepy. Stop acting creepy because I know you're a creep.
You're acting that too well, God damn it.
Yeah, like playing that well too well. People who I will just watch anything that they're in. I'm more attached to like directors. So all my favorite directors, I suppose, it's like Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, anyone like that. Favorite directors. I don't need to see a trailer for your movie. I'll just go watch it. But on actors front, basically anyone involved in the Fast and Furious franchise. So like Vin Diesel, The Rock, who like all those. Any of them are like my go-to stupid popcorn flick people because like anyone involved in the Fast and Furious franchise, anyone from Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, whoever, like Jason Statham, whatever. I will watch any of them.
You forgot The Rock, man. You forgot the most important dude.
No, but
no, you said. Who'd you say? Toretto or something like that.
Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez. They've been in it way longer than The Rock.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jumanji yet?
No, I haven't. But The Rock is.
But The Rock's attached to it.
Yeah.
He's got you.
It's the only reason because I think that movie looks fucking terrible, and the only reason
Xander
me wants to watch it. Hey,
have you seen Xander Cage? Triple X.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay,
it's great.
You got me stumped that time. It's all good.
It was good. I just think they put out the type of popcorn fun movies that Like they're my go-to fun. And I know maybe some other people are like, I like watching Transformers because I like watching CGI things and that makes me feel fun. However, I feel like with all the actors involved in that franchise, be it The Rock, whoever, they like just do fun, feel good, whatever movies. Like anything The Rock's in is basically great, even if it's shit. Just because
have you seen Baywatch?
Yeah, I watched Baywatch for the first time a few weeks ago. I was like, that movie objectively is shit. But you know what? I actually had a fun time.
Yeah. Talking about Baywatch, someone else who will come around on is fucking Zac Efron.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Zac Efron so much.
Yeah, I hated him so much.
That made me sound gay, but I love him.
It's like, what are you
no homo, Zac Efron, if you're listening.
I'm on the Efron train. Zac Efron's like fantastic. But so you say you'd watch anything from any of the Fast and the Furious guys?
Yeah.
Ludacris and Tyrese both helm a film as the main actors these days. Yeah, do you think it'd be good?
No.
Yeah.
That'd be silly.
It'd be silly. You know what? I actually kind of want that now, though. I like Ludacris and Tyrese.
Might have happened. It probably went straight to DVD. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, that doesn't always mean bad. I watched the Jackie Chan movie. That was straight to DVD. That's real recent. I watched it last night. Now I can't even remember what it was called. It was like Taken, but it was Jackie Chan about bombings, and that was really good.
Wow.
No, actually, straight to DVD. You know, Death Race with Jason Statham.
Yeah,
like they did that.
Yes.
They put out a straight to DVD, which was like the prequel where it had like the actual Frankenstein that he takes over, and Danny Trejo was in it, I think, and I actually thought it was better than the Jason Statham one, and that was straight to DVD. I was like, sometimes they're alright.
Bad. Yeah, like and this Jackie Chan one had oh my god, why is his name escaping me? He was a James Bond.
Daniel Craig.
No, it wasn't. This is a lot older than Daniel Craig.
Imagine if Daniel Craig was it. Was it the Australian guy?
No, it was. Oh wow, it's really going to bug me that his name's escaping me because he's very famous. This is going back quite a while though. Either way, there was a James Bond in this movie as a Scottish man. It was fantastic.
Was it Sean Connery?
No, it wasn't Sean Connery. It was.
That'd be weird.
Fuck me, I can't remember his name for the life of me. That's legitimately got me annoyed. But yeah, there are some straight to DVD movies that are pretty good, or like Batman animated films, like the DC animated ones.
My favorite Batman movie is animated. So
yeah, me too. Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Fantastic.
Yeah. I have a question for Dylan. I have a couple of questions.
Oh dear.
Have you seen The Tooth Fairy?
Yes.
Yes. Did you like that?
Yeah, it's fine. It was a good.
You like that movie?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Got a few more questions. Have you seen Planet 51?
No, that's an animated one, right?
Not good enough. All right, next question. How about, have you seen San Andreas?
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Own the 4K Blu-ray.
Did you like that movie? Did you like San Andreas?
Yes. The 4K Blu-ray of San Andreas.
You have a shit taste in movies, my friend. I'm sorry.
I didn't say it was good.
You have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, because I got a 4K TV and I googled like what movies look good in 4K. They didn't need to be good movies. I just wanted screen porn, you know, like to test my new TV.
To be fair, depending on when you got that DVD, there weren't many 4K Blu-rays out.
This is over a year ago now. This is over a year ago when my local JB Hi-Fi, who now has like an entire section, had like a tiny little shelf. It was like Lego Movie, blah blah blah, and like San Andreas was one of them. And I wanted to pick up 3 that day when to test out, and I googled which would be the best quality looking films, and apparently San Andreas looked really good in 4K. And you know what? It does. It looks very good in 4K. There's a whole scene there where there's like a tsunami taking down buildings. Looks great.
What about Hercules?
You want that pixel porn?
I haven't watched Hercules. I couldn't do that to myself.
Actually, you know, I think I've enjoyed everything I've seen The Rock in.
Associated with Fast and the Furious actors.
Close.
I think I've enjoyed everything I've seen The Rock in, actually, except for it was the Mummy spin-off that he was in.
The Scorpion King with this terrible CGI.
Oh God.
Yeah, I watched that close to when that came out too, but even then the CGI was piss poor.
Absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
Can I just stop you guys for a second? You mentioned you got.
We're doing
San
a live
Andreas.
podcast, but you're right. You're fine.
Yeah, true. You got San Andreas on Blu-ray, yet The Room is on Blu-ray, and you don't have that on Blu-ray.
I've never seen The Room in like
on Blu-ray.
No, I've never seen it like in the wild ever.
No, I've never seen a copy of it either. That you can't find that shit. You have to go to one of those screenings where people throw spoons at the
Yeah, I think so.
Except they throw Blu-ray versions at the screen.
I don't know if there's actually I don't know if there's any copyright on it, or Tommy Wiseau just like shows up at your house if you pirate it and it's like, oh,
you're tearing me apart, Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Never coming back on this show again, Alex. No, I did.
I'm fed up with this world.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, hi, Mark. But yeah, oh, fantastic. Well, I'd say that's probably not a bad spot to call it, because I've run out of rock movies that I can think of, but I've pretty much named all the actors.
You know, every time I come on the show, I just like, no matter what the topics are, I bring Fast and Furious in.
You have. I think you have 3 out of 3. And you know what? I want you to keep that trend going.
I'm going to keep it up.
Actually, I want to talk about something. The very first episode you're on, Dylan, I said that I didn't like the Fast and the Furious. You know what? I rewatched them all. I think.
Come on.
And I still don't like them.
I've never admitted this to anyone before, but fuck it. YouTube's the best platform to do it. That was enjoyable. I actually enjoyed them all. Watching them again. Were they good? Not all of them are good movies, but
we're not trying to say they're good. We're trying to say they're just fun.
It's a fun time. It's the fun and the furious. It's
about the family.
It's about the family and Coronas.
Take a shot every time he says family.
Oh, you die. But thanks for the challenge.
There's a dumb running joke in my group now because of the line where it says you can have any brew you want as long as it's Corona. That we just call Corona's family juice now. And
no, I started drinking a lot of Coronas at one stage in my life, so I'm pretty sure those movies are just fucked me.
Yeah, that's it. Like, when come in with a big bucket of Coronas. But yeah, anyway, this has now been the Fast and the Furious cast / the Rock cast / the Casual cast. For you this week.
I can go into more actors if you want.
You can, that's probably not a bad spot to call it. I've only got so much left for my free fucking
Who voices who's the voice of the pug in The Secret Life of Us, or whatever the fuck that animated movie is?
I've no idea.
I'm pretty sure it's called The Secret Life of Pets. But I can
Who's
have
the
a
voice
look
of the
for
pug?
You. Definitely not Dwayne Johnson.
You're fucking terrible at pug trivia. Continue. Just...
Pug trivia? I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, it is now, and you failed, so
shit.
But there you go. After talking about pugs and everything, and you want more pug chat where there is no more pug chat, you can find Alex on PugEdits on Twitter and YouTube, and you also have a podcast that I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name of. Arrogant Aussies. That's what it is.
Arrogant Aussies.
You can find Arrogant Aussies, I'm guessing, on all podcast services.
Yeah, if you want to go that far, sure.
Lovely. And that also frequently features the other Dylan that we have on this show, the imposter. And then, you can always find the Dylan that's on now, Dylan Blight at Vivaladil on YouTube and Twitter, as well as all of his group with the Explosion Network, where they do all their podcasts and streaming.
I'm going to check you out, Dylan. I'm going to check you.
I'm sure lots of people do. But yeah, this has been episode 19 of the Casual Cast. My name's Sam Nicholson with Alex and Dill. And until next time, au revoir.
Bye.
Bye.